What's up guys, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. Today we are looking at the Cuccio Spring 2020 collection called Imagine. And it's actually a really funny tagline, so I'm gonna read it to you guys. It says, "Join our fashion-forward sisterhood of deep muted pastels that know no limitations." I don't know why that's cracking me up so much, it's not even funny. Some may say you are a dreamer, but rest assured you are not the only one. That's a good way to get around the copyright claim, but also be able to talk about imagining. I'm gonna stop myself because I feel like I'm being annoying. So today I have 8 beautiful new creams to show you guys. They are all deep muted pastels, and actually when I saw them, I thought they were really reminiscent of last year's spring collection from Cuccio, which I will link up in the cards so you guys can see. But upon doing a little bit more of a comparison, I have noticed that these colors are a little bit deeper and a little bit richer, which I find really interesting because you guys may know this, I'm not a huge fan of like springy pastel shades, but I do like fall shades, and I feel like these polishes are kind of just a tiny bit reminiscent of fall, and it makes me feel like these are kind of just muted shades that you can really wear any time of year. So I am really into them. So let me show you guys the swatches and then we'll talk a little bit more about my thoughts. All right, roll footage. So as always, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches, and of course today I am using the Cuccio base coat, which I use probably most often in my swatch videos. I will link it down below for anybody who is interested in checking it out. So first up in this collection we have the shade I Crave, which is absolutely not what I would expect in a spring collection, and I totally love it. This is like a dark dusty mauve / mauve, both pronunciations are correct FYI, and just a really beautiful cream shade. It felt a little bit sheer on the first coat, almost like it had a little bit of that jelly-like feel to it, but it ended up giving me full opacity in the second coat, and I am so into this color. Like I said, this doesn't feel to me like a classic spring color, but I do love these like dark dusty shades on my nails for any time of year, and I think this one's so pretty and classic. Next up we have the shade I Desire, which is a lighter dusty warm pink. This is something that I would definitely expect to see in a spring collection, but even though I'm not a huge fan of the dusty pinks, I feel like there's something about this that I really like, and I think it's just because it has a lot of that warmth to it. It doesn't feel like it's one of those like muted Pepto-Bismol colors. It's kind of just like really nice, and it almost feels like a neutral, like it's like a blush pink kind of shade, I would say. And it did give me opacity in 2 coats, and I think it looks so beautiful on. Next up we have the shade I Seek, and this is a really pretty soft peachy neutral shade, and this is just a really good any time of year color in my opinion. It does lean a little bit pinky on me, and I am totally fine with that. I think it looks really good. I was worried that the formula was going to be pretty sheer because it is a nude type of polish, but it did give me really impressive opacity. It felt like it was almost a 1 coater. I did do 2 for full opacity, and I definitely needed that second coat, but I feel like this is something that I would really want to use like as a background for nail art because I feel like it's very soft and subtle, but it looks so good, and it's just, I don't know, I really like it. Next up we have the shade I Endure, which is a very interesting orange cream shade, and this to me doesn't necessarily feel like a spring color. This to me feels like it's one of those like gorgeous autumn shades, and I think that's why I love it so much. I'm not a huge fan of orange pastels, but because this one is darker and it just has that sort of muted feel to it, it just feels to me like a really great neutral fall kind of color. So I know I'm definitely going to be wearing this in the fall, and I really love it, but I'm not sure that it's a spring shade for me. Next up we have the shade I Wish, and this is another dusty neutral shade. This one leans very yellowed, almost like greenish, and I'm really into it. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of these lately where it's like almost like a greenish undertone to that neutral shade, and I feel like they suit me so well. I really love them, and this one the opacity was absolutely incredible on. I was so surprised. This one was pretty much a 1 coater. I threw on a second just to show you guys what that looked like, but I feel like I definitely could get away with 1 coat of this, so I really like it. Next up we have the shade I Imagine, and this is a very soft, very light blue-green cream shade, and this to me, it's one of those shades that's so light that it almost looks white, but it's really not, and I think this is a great color for those of you guys who like wearing super light shades, but you feel like white kind of looks like whiteout on the nails. I think this is one of those really great alternative colors because it is so light. I feel like it makes you look a little bit tanner. It's a really great base for nail art if you don't want the white to be too harsh, and just a really pretty color color. You know, nothing too crazy or special, but I really like it. Next up we have the shade I Reflect, and this is actually my favorite in the collection. In the bottle it looks like a dusty soft blue, but on the nail for me it's almost like a blue gray cream shade. And this was another one with absolutely incredible opacity and a really nice formula. It was so easy to work with. Now that I'm looking at it on camera, it actually still does kind of have that little bit of a blue tinge, but I feel like it's just a really beautiful, cool toned gray shade, and I'm always looking for a new gray. I always think they're so fantastic. I feel like a lot of grays lean warm tone, so I really love that this is very cool. And last but not least, we have the shade I Dream, which is a soft muted teal cream, and this is another one that I wouldn't necessarily expect to see in a spring collection. To me, I could totally wear this in the fall, but honestly it feels like an everyday, any time of year kind of color. This one was another one where it felt just a tiny bit sheer on the first coat, but I did get full opacity in 2 coats, and I really love that formula. I mean, with all of the Cuccio polishes, like, they just have such a nice and easy to use brush that I feel like it just makes every formula feel so good no matter what, so I totally love this one too. So yeah, overall, I mean, I know these polishes in the bottle don't look especially unique or interesting or impressive or eye-catching. That's a lot of things. So I mean, yeah, overall I don't think these are totally crazy impressive in the bottle, but there's just something about the Cuccio formula that I am so obsessed with. So as soon as I start applying the colors, I really fall in love with them. And like I said, I feel like I could honestly get away with wearing these as fall shades, and I feel like nobody would even blink. Well, they'd blink, but they wouldn't notice that they're spring shades. Do people even care what colors I wear? I don't know. It's just nice to have like a full rainbow kind of collection of muted shades, you know? Sometimes you don't want to go with like the super bright traffic cone orange. You want to go with something like a little bit more faded, and I totally love that. So I really like the direction they're going in, but like I said, I understand why this wouldn't be like eye-catching for a lot of people. So I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you are into these, if you're not into these, if these are the kind of polishes that you need to try on in order to determine whether you like them. But yeah, I mean, I can't say enough good things about the Cuccio formula. I totally love it. You guys know that I almost always use that Cuccio base coat, and I was obsessed for a really long time with the Cuccio 7-second top coat. Now I have moved on to being obsessed with the Cuccio high gloss top coat. Honestly, recommend them both. I think their base coat, their top coat, their dehydrator, they're all products that I use consistently. So I do really recommend that brand in general. I think they have a lot of really amazing creams. I don't know, I'm just really into them. I actually, thinking about it, I think I like this spring collection more than I liked their fall 2019 collection. So yeah, that's an interesting little fact there. So I get my Cuccio polishes from HP Beauty Bar, where they retail for $6.95 USD each, but I do have a discount code for you guys and a little bit of exciting news, because if you watch my videos, you may know that I do have a 20% off code with HP Beauty Bar. However, as of now and in the future, my discount code is 22%, so you can use the code Kelly to get 22% off your order at HP Beauty Bar. They carry a lot of amazing nail polish brands. They are a retailer of a bunch of different brands, so you can get OPI, you can get Essie, you can get Zoya, LA Colors. They have a ton of nail polish brands there, and they also sell makeup, so it's definitely a great place, like a one-stop shop for all of your nail polish needs. So I'm gonna link all that stuff down below for you guys, but once again, code Kelly will get you 22% off now. But yeah, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think of this collection, if it catches your eye, if you think it's super boring. I want to hear either way, so let me know in the comments. You know I answer all of them. So give this video a thumbs up if you like my swatch and review videos, and if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing, because I show you all the nail polishes and I help you make purchasing decisions. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! Fun fact, my #1 celebrity crush of all time is Kristen Stewart. I think she is so perfect. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!